In this video, we are going to discuss Java basic patterns, how to print these basic star patterns with reference of a complete square pattern. Let's understand one after the other. To start with, to print a pattern like this, a right angle triangle pattern. So where for any star pattern, what is the complete square pattern if you just observe? So here we need a one star and here is another star and also here is a star. So the required result is something like from square pattern, there are some places where we don't want a star. Correct? It can be looked this way. Or you can say there are some places where we want a star. It can be either way. Yeah. From every star, these are the three places where we don't want to print. So that's how we are going to get the output of this. So first, what is the standard pattern? There are rows and the rows will be represented by one outer for loop. And there are columns and the columns will be represented by inner for loop. Then here, what is the position of each star? First row, first column, first row, second column, then first row, third column. Similarly, second row first, second row second, and second row third. Then 3 1, 3 2, 3 3. So these are the positions of each stars. Then from this, which place we don't want a star and what is the logic of that? For example, outer for loop is represented by using a variable I. Inner for loop is represented by using a variable j. Then here 1 comma 1, so I is equal to j here, correct? Then 1 comma 2, I is less than j, and I is also less than j for 1 comma 3. Then I is greater than, then here I is equals j, but here I is less than j. So in this entire square pattern, where I is less than j, we don't want to print a star. So that's the understanding of this one. So a simple for loop will do this. So one for loop which is running from 1 to 3, and then inside this another for loop which has to run from 1 to 3. So here 3 rows 1 to 3. So 3 columns also 1 to 3. So for int j variable starts from 1, j should be up to 3, and then j plus plus. So inside this loop, what is the condition to print? As long as if I is less than j, we don't want print. So it means what? I is greater than or equals j, we have to print, right? So in this condition, if you use a system.out.print, because we have to print a star and then 2 stars in the same row, then 3 stars in the same row. To print in the same row, we have to use a print statement here, not println. Then how to print it? A star with a proper spacing of 2 spaces. So that's why. So leave 2 spaces. We should not type anything. So just we have to leave 2 spaces there. So once a row is over, then for second row, the cursor has to move to next line. For third row, the cursor has to move to next line from that. So where that will happen? Outside the inner for loop, inside the outer for loop. So here system.out.println print nothing. So just only for the cursor to move to next line. ln stands for next line. So this is the first basic pattern to get the output. So here, this is the expert output for this logic which we are going to get it. Let's see the another one. So here, this is the pattern. And again, if I take a standard star pattern for this also, so this position and here are the 2 more positions where we don't want a star. There is a small difference for the previous one and this one. Let us understand that little clearly. So again, a for loop which runs from 1 to 3 with some variable called I. Then one for loop column 1 to 3 with a variable j. So here some places we want star, but here some places we want a space, right? We don't want a star. But do we need to print a space? Yes, otherwise the alignment will look like the above star pattern. That's a difference here. So first, 1 comma 1, I is equals to j. Then 2 comma 1, I is less than j. I mean 1 comma 2. Then here also 1 comma 3, I is less than j. Then here 2 1 position, right? 2 1, I is greater than j. Then 2 2, I is double equal to j. I mean I equal to j. Then here 2 3, I is less than j. Similarly 3 1, I greater than j. 3 2, I greater than j. And 3 3, I equals to j. So then what is the scenario here? When I is equal to j or I is less than j. So we can combine these two, saying that I is less than or equal to j, we have to print star. When I is not equals and also not less than, it means when I is greater than, what we supposed to print? A space we have to print it. Correct? That's a understanding of this. So writing the loop is very easy. So first one for loop. So which runs from 1 to 3 with a variable of I. Then followed by, so it's I only, I plus plus. Then inside this, we need one another for loop. That is with j variable, which runs from 1 to 3. The next, so what is the condition here according to our understanding? So there are conditions here. One is if I is less than or equals, equals. So that is if I is less than or equals j, in this scenario, we can write one line of non-initialized statement without floor brackets for if condition. So I'm writing directly. So system.out.print, not println. Print, we have to print a star, then leave two spaces, then followed by, if this condition fails, then we have to print a space. So which is not the above case here. So that's the difference. So in this scenario, if you also print here, but a print a space to follow the same space alignment, 3 spaces we have to give. One for star, one for 2 spaces, which aligns with the same thing. Then after this outer for loop, for the cursor to move to next line, so here a sample println. So this is the code which gives our expected output of, so right angle triangle pattern, but where there is no star here and here.